Hey guys, I'm Si and welcome to A.C.E Podcast Nation. And today, a shorter video as we're joined by Cage Warriors lightweight Oban Elliott. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
How we doing, Si? Good to chat with you, mate.
Yeah, good to have you back, mate. It's been trying to get you on for a bit, isn't it? Just one thing after another.
Just one thing
Trying to get
after
you
another.
back on.
Since like Father's Day, it's been just every Sunday I'll come out and then boom, something comes up. It's been mad, but yeah, good to chat to you, mate.
Yeah,
Long overdue.
Always, yeah, definitely, mate. I'm looking forward to a good catch up, talk about shit, like. And,
Yeah.
So, I think before we get on to your upcoming fight, we'll talk. So, I was asking you just now about what is Oban Elliott's nickname? Because obviously, when I spoke to you last time, it was evil with
Yeah.
a bit of gangster, and you were just telling me it's changed now. So explain.
I'll explain. Well, evil. I was known as evil when I was a teenager, really. And then I kind of self-proclaimed myself as the gangster, and that's what I'm kind of known as now. And this one's a weird one, but my nan, she calls me Angel Eyes, and I kind of thought,
I like it, mate.
sod
I
it,
like it. It's
I'll
a
go
good
with
one.
Angel Eyes, because then I suppose that's like my nickname amongst the gangsters. You can't if you sat in a room of gangsters, you can't go oi gangster, oi gangster. They all have their own nickname. Mine's Angel Eyes, but to everyone else, I'm the gangster.
That's it, mate. And the thing is, if you had like Goodfellas or The Godfather or something like that, Angel Eyes is a good name as well. Huh?
Exactly, and I got nice eyes, as my nan says.
Oh, there you go. I think that's about as good a reason for a nickname as I've heard.
So
And I've heard some terrible reasons and some terrible nicknames of some of the people I've spoken to. Right, obviously you've got a fight coming up on the Cage Warriors triple header, the trilogy, as they're going with you on the Thursday. Thursday or Friday?
I'm the Thursday. I'm kicking the return
24th.
off.
24th, main card, first fight. Oban Elliott versus is Figlak, isn't it? Is that how you pronounce his name? Figlak?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
There's only one name that matters on that on that poster. So it's Elliott. Oban Elliott. The return. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I admit it seems like forever since, like, obviously the last Cage Warriors fight was just before lockdown. When
11 months ago, it'll be nearly 12 months since I've been out the ring. That's the longest layoff of my fighting life. That's
just unbelievable amount of time between fights. Because like since you turned pro, you're quite active. Like there was no hanging about, and you got straight into it.
And I was set to have 4 fights this year, and the coronavirus kicked in. But
So yeah, you're all set for the fight now in September.
Looking
forward to it, I imagine. Are you?
Yeah, it's been a tough time with the lockdown, the coronavirus. It's through obstacles in the way for a lot of people, but I made sure I made the most of it. I've had a renaissance in my own mind with my career, and I think without this break in between, I don't think I'd be the gangster I am today. I don't think I would be. I can't really, as you can see, I'm a man of many words. I can't quite put into words how it's improved me, this break, but you'll see on September the 24th. You really will. It's a complete and utter transformation. Me, the Oban Elliott you're used to seeing is. I look back at that man fighting, and it's just a young, raw version. I'm world class now. World class.
Can't wait to see it, mate. I really can't wait. And like I spoke to when we had Modestus on the Danny Batten show, and like he was talking about his time in lockdown, and he's quite lucky. Like he's got a gym and stuff in his house, and his father's one of his trainers. So like he's pretty lucky in terms of being able to train all the way through lockdown and stuff. Obviously, the majority of fighters are not in that position. What sort of stuff were you doing during lockdown just to keep yourself, sharp? Was it mainly fitness and stuff like that?
I kept my running up. I was doing a lot of mountain biking. I was doing a lot of bag work, because bag work is, Muhammad Ali, all the great boxers of all generations hit the bag religiously, and it gets neglected in a MMA fight camp because there's so much to do, and you sometimes don't get time to fit the bag work in. But luckily enough, I was doing most nights 10, 12 rounds on the bag, so it was a good time for me to there was no pressure on my training. I was just hitting the bag. I was visualizing and planning, and how I've changed my style numerous times in this time off. So I've really hit a stride I'm happy with now, trying new stuff, and the sparring. When we got back sparring amongst ourselves, the professionals, I barely missed a beat. I did a lot of mental and visualizing, mental drilling to make sure I didn't skip a beat, and I didn't. I got better.
Can we expect to see anything different, anything new, any new moves from the Gangster?
I'm a box of tricks, mate. I'm a box of tricks. I don't know what I'll be pulling out. We'll see what he's got. I'll be taking the center of that cage, taking pictures, and seeing what he's got. And if you ask me, I don't think he's got much, but I'm prepared for everything. So I was going to
ask you about that. So obviously, like you said earlier, like the only name that matters is Elliott. But do you genuinely know much about your opponent? Have you seen much of him fighting and that?
All I know is that he is in for a very rough night on the 24th. Yeah, I wouldn't even, I've heard of him. I know bits and bobs.
Yeah.
But, all I see is just a head, a chin, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Someone in the way of your targets, then, mate.
Exactly, like. But, I'm going to really, really look good against him. I'm going to be dancing on him. I'm gonna run rings around him.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you confident, mate. I like that a lot. I like that in my fighters, particularly the ones who I've spoken to before, and I know a little bit. Like, I like to see that. Obviously, it is the fight game, so you got to obviously. Whilst I know you're confident, I also know you'll respect your opponent.
I'm switched on at all times. The best way to say is I'm switched on. But the confidence comes from just the years I've been doing it, the boys I'm training with, and the fact that I'm me and he is him. And on a bad night, on a hangover, on 2 hours sleep with 2 weeks training, 2 minutes training, I'll beat him.
Yeah, and I'm sure that your new vegan diet is going to help you even more so with the weight cut.
The vegan diet? No. Not quite, but we have got a bit of breaking news as far as the diet's concerned.
Okay.
I'm not especially in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's because I'm skinny and I'm on the weight cut, but I'm not reacting well to gluten.
Oof.
So I'm on a bit of a gluten-free diet at the moment. It's a bit of a. It's not quite vegan, but
You're on the way, mate. You're on the way.
That's
the first step.
I understand that. I've had some serious conversations with myself because I've been cutting gluten out, but yeah, I can't do much about that.
No, I like him, mate. Have you watched much MMA like during lockdown? Obviously, the UFC's been still going on. We had Fight Island, and I like. Have you watched much of it?
Yeah, I've been keeping a close eye. I've been studying it from my perspective. I've been listening to the shots, and I've been trying to visualize myself fighting with no crowd the same way they have obviously had to adjust to. Obviously, the boys from the gym, the captains of the gym, Jack Shaw and Brett Johns, went out to Fight Island and done the business. So I was tuning in for them. But I've done. I watched a great heavyweight title fight. I watched Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munoz. I've caught up with them all, and it's been some good fights.
Yeah, what did you think of how the Welsh boys did over in Fight Island? Because obviously, Jack's building some reputation for himself in the UFC. He couldn't have done much more, mate.
No, he couldn't. He completely took down Phillips apart, and I really look up to Brett and Tank because they are, they go out and do the business, and I'm honoured to train with them. They're my mates, and I like to see my mates do well. And yeah, they were excellent.
Yeah, I think
I was as funny as mad as this sounds. I was Shaky was on the Sean Shelby about me filling in short notice for the Fight Island. I was for completely and utterly in fight camp up till the boys went out to Fight Island. I was ready to go. I was ready to go.
That would have been incredible.
77 kilos, or I would have busted a bollock to get to 70, but I would have done it, and I was ready to go. So I've been ready to go since then. This kind of paints a picture of how ready I am for September the 24th. You could chuck King Kong in there and his two best mates. Honest to God, it's going to be it's just going to be savage.
I can't wait, mate. It's going to be very interesting.
And it's going to, you're going to enjoy yourself watching the same. I'm going to be back on the TV. I'm going to look the part. It's some nice, crisp boxing. I'll be going to the body. I'll be going upstairs. I'll mix it all up. You'd be mad not to tune in, but everyone's going to be tuning in. 9 o'clock live on UFC Fight Pass. There's only one fight that night, and it's Oban Elliott, and that's that.
Gotta say, mate, of your fights so far, you haven't had many boring ones, so it'll be interesting. Go on.
It's been, I tell you, this might surprise you, this fact, but since I've stopped someone on the feet, it's been nearly 2 years, and that's my bread and butter. I've gone into the professional ranks, smashing people with my C game. So what happens when I bring the A game? I said I'm a box of tricks. I might just bring the A game out for this one, or I might make it a boring snooze fest. I've got the ability to do both. I'll do what I want with him. So
everyone's going to be watching, mate. It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, and it's on it's a Thursday, so there's no UFC or boxing or anything. So
and it's the first one back. Everybody will be finishing work. They'll be like, Cage Warriors is on tonight. Chuck it on 9 o'clock. Boom, prime time slot. Oban Elliott walks out, and it might get to 10, 10:30, and they say, I got work in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. But at least they watched the real main event. They watched the people's main event. 9 p.m. everywhere that matters. I'm back.
The Cage Warriors event, obviously, there's some unbelievable fights, some big names, some up and coming names, and that.
Yeah.
Any of those fights over the 3 nights kind of stick out for you, which you'll keep an eye on?
Well, we got the lightweight champ going up to 170, Mason Jones.
Indeed.
He's taking on Adam Proctor. That's a fight I've got my eye on. But I wish Mason would pack his bags and go to the UFC so then bout to free themselves up, because I'm sick of chasing him, and he's probably sick of me chasing him. So the sooner he goes, the better, and I'll be coming for them belts in due time. But as the lineal Cage Warriors champion, Jai Herbert says, I'm soon to be king, and it won't be long. I can't wait. I can't wait to get the show back on the road, as they say, and I'll be ready September, October. If they want to come back in November, that's fine.
I think there is an event in November, and there is a Cage Warriors, November.
Yeah, if they want to come back in November, that's fine. But you won't just be calling me the Gangster. By then, I'll be the #1 contender. That's what I'll be. That's
what you've got to be, mate. You've got to impress in September, and then you take home all the glory in November for the follow-up. Yeah, we've had Mason on a couple of times, and he's a top bloke, and I just love seeing all these Welsh fighters doing so well.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant time for the sport. It's the best it's ever been in Wales.
It's incredible, mate. Like even on that Thursday show, obviously you got you, Ben Ellis fighting on the pro prelims at featherweight. Yeah. He's been incredibly impressive. I was watching a clip of him the other day, like just on top of someone and just KOs him with an elbow, which is like just a short elbow out of nowhere. And there's just Welsh fighters everywhere at the moment. It seems like through Cage Warriors, UFC, and they're all looking impressive. Who do you think is going to be the first Welshman to get a UFC title?
Ooh, you know, it's a tough one, and you know what? Me.
Shout. Gonna beat the Tank to it.
Well, there's Tank, there's Brett. They're both bantamweights. They're both in my gym. They're both my mates. I can't pick between them. You know, I wouldn't want to see them do fighting for it. I see them two fighting in the gym. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Them two both could be UFC champions. But if you're asking me, it's going to be me, just to piss them off.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like training with that caliber guy every day, though, and plus then you've got Shaky as your coach.
Exactly.
And the other guys as well.
And Carl Parker.
I was going to say, and Carl as well. So like that's only going to improve you as a fighter, as a person every day, because they'll keep whilst you're obviously a confident fighter and stuff. They'll keep your feet on the ground as well as training you technically, like.
Not only will they keep my feet on the ground, but they won't bullshit me either. If I'm slacking there, they'll keep. But if I'm doing well, they'll also say that was a good move there. You know, well done.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm just so grateful to be trained. I wouldn't be the fighter I am if I didn't have these boys I could train with. You know, I wouldn't be the fighter I am if I didn't have Shaky and Carl as my coaches. I wouldn't. I'd be good. I'd be all right, but I won't be world class. You know, I won't be the best.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that with my team and my coaches that I am the best.
Yeah. See, for me, like maybe I'm a bit biased, like, but for me, I think like Danny Batten and Richard Shaw are the two best UK coaches, probably the two best coaches in Europe, and I think they're right up there with any coaches in the world. I really do. As I say, maybe it's because I'm biased. I'm friends with Danny, and
I wouldn't.
Shaky's helped me a lot, and he's been on a few times. Like, but
I wouldn't say biased. I think you're bang on. I think Shaky, Carl. We've also got Kruheem. He's a world class Muay Thai coach. It's exclusive to our gym. Then you've also got Gary Lockett. My you're fully familiar with him. But as for we're going down the grapevine there. But as far as MMA coaches are concerned, look no further. Richard Shaw and Carl Parker. I don't know what Danny's like, but I'm sure he's very good. He's got excellent fighters. So I'm Danny as well. A great guy. As I wouldn't say you'd be lying with his level. He must be good as well. So
he's got an incredible mind for. Obviously, he's former world champion himself as well.
Exactly.
Back in the day. So just to finish off, mate, I guess I was going to ask you about Brett, because obviously everyone, rightly so, talks about how Jack has got this incredible reputation. He's unbeaten, and I think sometimes Brett goes under the radar because he's got a couple of losses in the UFC, but when you look at the people who he lost to, they're like in the top 3 of the bantamweight division now. Do you know? I think he's vastly underrated.
He's it's hard to say he's underrated, right? But he's fought the who's who, and Tank's on the rise. If people are this kid could be really, really, really good, and he is very, very good, and he's going to be very good. But then Brett, he's been in the UFC for 4 years, and he's fought the who's who. His only losses are to Pedro Munoz, who beat Frankie Edgar on the other weekend.
Yeah, he did.
And Aljamain Sterling, the number 1 contender. So when you put it like that, Brett's just got to get, he'll hopefully get another match soon, and he'll be right in there. And Tank and Brett will just creep their way through that top 10 and climb them rankings, because they're working together now. Brett was the captain of his own ship beforehand, and he got where he did, being the captain of his own ship. But now he's with the boys and he's with us lot. The sky's the limit for Brett, and the sky's the limit for Tank. But because Tank's new on the scene, he's exploded on the scene. That's why he's got a lot of traction at the moment. But we all love Brett and Tank the same. And Tank will say about Brett. Brett was one of the pioneers in Welsh MMA. He signed for the UFC. Mate. I think he was the first one to actually fight. In the octagon. So Tank will say the same. Tank will say he's Wales number 1. Tank's humble like that, and Brett would, say the same about Tank. He's a poor man's Jack Shaw. So yeah, I don't think he's overlooked. They're both
I think with Brett, I think he's since he come back from his injury, like his last 2 fights, I think he's been really, really impressive.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see him really work his way up into that top 10 now over the next year or so.
He will.
I think with Jack, I think a big part of it is because when he signed for the UFC, obviously Dana White had some kind comments about him, and he doesn't always, he doesn't comment on every signing that they make.
Yeah.
So I think that automatically draws a bit of attention to Jack.
Of course it does, yeah.
And of course, Jack, he's backed it up, haven't he, since he's been there. Okay, so one thing I was going to ask you about, and I've just remembered.
I got a bit of time. Go on.
So me and Aaron on Sunday, which is out tomorrow, or tonight as this will go out. So me and Aaron Khalid were talking, and we were trying to think of when 2 Welsh boys have fought each other in mainly the UFC, but in MMA, Cage Warriors and that, and we couldn't think of too many. Obviously, the one which comes to mind was the absolute banger between Marshman and John Phillips, which was what a classic fight, all-time classic fight that was. But can you think of any times that like two Welsh guys have fought each other on on a professional level? Nothing springs to mind, does it?
No.
I
was thinking Marshman and Bama, but he didn't fight. Did he fight? Oh.
So yeah.
But then that's not the big stage, then, is it? No, I think that's probably it, isn't it? That's probably it.
So would you? I asked this. I've been asking this question a lot lately because someone asked it. I think they might have asked it to Jack, and I thought, that's quite a good question. Like, would you fight a teammate? If they had the title and you wanted the title. So obviously, like Jack and Brett are in the bantamweight division. But would you, if one of your teammates from Short MMA had the lightweight belt, would you fight a teammate for the belt, or would you probably not?
I'd move up.
Okay. Yeah, I think it varies from person to person.
Yeah, I'd move up. I'd move up. And I'd be the world champion in the weight above. I'm that good. Yeah, so...
That's a good answer, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd move up.
Good answer. And obviously, the Corey McKenna became the first female Welsh female to sign for the UFC. Can you tell me a bit about her?
Corey, yes, used to train with us. Brilliant, over the moon for her. She got in there, took a chance with both hands and got the contract. That's something I'd really like to do. I'd love to go on the contender series. I think it's made for me.
I think you've got the right tools for it.
Yeah, because they like a flash knockout, and I just pull a flash knockout off.
Mm. I was thinking the other day, mate, you'd have been good on Tough Enough, mate.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter.
Yes. Sorry, Tough Enough.
If only they could. I wonder if Dana's listening because
I'll send it to him, mate. I'll send it. I'll tag it. I'll clip it and send it to him.
I'm 22. I'm
perfect.
He wants to just pick me up, doesn't he? Come on, Dana.
Live in that Ultimate Fighter house, mate.
He's only going to have to lay his eyes on me once, and he's going to want me. I know that. He's going to be signing me up the second he knows about me. Probably already does. He might want to see a couple more things, but
it's like a race, mate. Sometimes Cage Warriors, isn't it?
With Dana is when he's done messing around with the rest, he'll pick up the phone and call the best.
There we go. That is getting clipped. That seems like a good way to finish, mate. As always, mate, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy and you're training as well.
The thing is, I'm working as well. I'm in and out the house. I've only just got in the house since 6:30 this morning. It's just mad. But I work in Lannishen High School now in Cardiff.
Tell the people where they can find you on social media.
And, you can find me on Twitter, Oban Elliott MMA. My Instagram is just Oban Elliott. My fan page is Oban Elliott MMA. And my Facebook is Oban Elliott. So there we are.
24th of September, first fight on the main card of Cage Warriors opening night. The return of Oban Angel Eyes Elliott.
That's it.
Gonna pick up the win, and continue
Domination.
his path to domination.
There
Appreciate your time, mate.
Nice
Guys,
one,
subscribe, youtube.com/A.C.E Podcast Nation. Spread the word as we got MMA, football, mental health, everything. Any podcasts and content you can think of, we've got it. And we will see you for the next episode. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Oban.
Thank you.